For a very long time, the Duggar family has maintained strict traditions, traditional values, and strong beliefs about marriage, family, and religion. With millions of viewers, TLC's 19 Kids and Counting and its spin-off, Counting On, have tracked the Duggar children's lives from birth to romance, marriage, and the start of their own enormous families. Because of the Duggar family, marriage has long been seen as the next step for all girls. However, sources indicate that Johannah Duggar, one of the younger siblings, is showing bravery by refusing to be married, going against the family's long-standing tradition. The Duggar family's usual way of life is put to the test by this sudden change. It also starts off with conversations about being different, how generations change, and how brave it is to choose a different path when things get tough. The Duggars are a traditional family that is clearly quite conservative and religious. Michelle Duggar and Jim Bob Duggar taught their 19 children the principles of family, religion, and following the Bible. Duggar children are taught from a young age that men should support them while women should manage and care for the family. Marriage is often seen as the ideal, especially for Duggar females, and is often encouraged. Television has long featured closely watched courtship exchanges with chaperones that are meant to lead to marriage. The engagement, wedding, and eventual birth of children are highly anticipated by the family and fans. When a daughter of Duggar starts dating, it has been said again and again, Joy Anna wed Austin. For example, Jessa married Ben, Jill married Derek, Jinger married Jeremy, and so on. Many Duggar women appeared destined to marry in their late teens or early 20s. The other girls are not like Johanna Duggar. What is Johanna Duggar's name? She is Jim Bob and Michelle's 16th child. Johanna was born in October 2005 and grew up at the height of her family's fame. In contrast to her older, on reality TV, she has seen the glamorous parts of the Duggar lifestyle, but she has also seen the problems and criticism that have tarnished her family's reputation. The youngest sister, Johannah, also had a slightly different perspective on the family's activities. Johannah was one of the younger children being raised. Her older sisters were largely responsible for raising the younger ones. She was able to watch how rituals were carried out, and how they occasionally resulted in resistance and conflict because the change in generations and the courageous denial. Reports state that Johannah is now making a public statement that not many other Duggar girls have the courage to make. She doesn't want to get married, at least not in accordance with the strict schedule or the expectations of her family. None of this has ever happened to the Duggar family. According to a Duggar family, a girl's unwillingness to be married is the same as changing a big part of their cultural identity. Johannah's declaration that she has no desire to do anything is opposing both her parents' authority and decades of family custom. There are several ways to interpret her choice. A decrease in pressure. Her older sisters, some of whom had not completed high school, married young, and she watched them get married. She could be better off avoiding that rush. An appeal for self-reliance. Johannah shows that she values her independence over her responsibilities by refusing to get married. A cautionary tale for the next generation. The younger Duggars have more access to the outside world as a result of education, technology, and changing cultural standards. Johannah's viewpoint is indicative of a larger generational change in attitudes about independence. How important this is to Duggar culture. The Duggars view marriage as more than just a personal choice. It is a public statement of their beliefs and family values. If a daughter says she doesn't want to get married, it breaks the story that has kept the Duggar family in the news for years. Additionally, it produces a stir among the fan community. For many years, the Duggars were respected for their unwavering and consistent adherence to biblical teachings. That carefully constructed image is disrupted by Johannah's choice. Johannah's stance also poses a more important question. Do Duggar kids actually have the freedom to choose their own paths? Or are they bound by expectations that keep them from being who they really are? What part do older siblings play? Johannah wasn't a brave person overnight. There are already signs that some of her older siblings have altered. Jill Duggar Dillard publicly announced her intention to control her family's relationships and put her own family's welfare first. When Jinger Duggar moved to California, she made the decision to live a much more modern lifestyle than she had in Arkansas. She even wore jeans in violation of the Duggar dress code for a considerable amount of time. Johanna Duggar Forsyth keeps up a wonderful relationship with her parents even though it seems like she doesn't agree with their limitations. Family. Because these older sisters influenced Johanna as a youngster, she has discovered by experience that it is possible to live a meaningful life even after separating from them. Surprise, encouragement, and speculation were among the public's responses. Many people are upset with Johanna's decision to skip marriage, which goes against family tradition. Because they are used to hearing about courtships and marriages frequently, fans of the Duggar family are surprised. Many people think Johanna made the right choice. Goes against everything her family holds dear. But many individuals outside her family admire her bravery. Johanna is praised on social media as an example of a strong young woman who doesn't think twice about acting on her own initiative. Many are wondering if her behavior is a sign of her maturing and being independent, or if it will result in her and her parents' permanent separation. In any case, since Jill publicly distanced herself from the family, Johanna has been greater attention compared to the other Duggar siblings. The degree of family stress. A Duggar daughter finds it hard to decide not to get married. Breaking the family's customs can feel like betraying them, because they are so fundamental to who they are. Johanna's parents and brothers are probably emotionally pressuring her to change her mind. Religious guilt predicated on how the Bible interprets women's roles. Fans criticize her in public because they want her to do what is expected of her. But Johanna's strength is demonstrated by her capacity to fight back. She rejects generational changes in conservative homes, indicating that she values being herself over following social standards. Johanna's viewpoint is not unique. Younger members of conservative families are questioning long-standing customs across the United States. Due to their exposure to social media, online forums, and college, they often acquire viewpoints that are different from what their parents expect of them. To a wider range of perspectives, she is more than just a Duggar daughter in this way. She is a voice for many generations reaffirming our right to make our own decisions. What this means for the Duggar family. In the history of the Duggar family, this is a crucial time. In the past, the Duggar family was considered the model of large-scale family success. But lately, the brand has been plagued by scandals like Josh Duggar's wrongdoings and growing discontent among kids. The circumstances, made worse by Johanna's rejection. It casts doubt on the idea that Duggar females will keep getting married young and having big children. The Duggar story might change from one of strict conformity to one of diversity and individuality if Johanna and the others decide to go their own way. The Duggars may be regarded as a family with strong traditions, as well as an example of how traditions change or fall apart over time as a result of this metamorphosis. The capacity to refuse. Usually saying no is more challenging than accepting. She doesn't want to turn down love or relationships when she says no to marriage. She is not interested in being compelled to write a story about her life that she did not write. Her courage sent a strong message. A woman has the right to choose her own career, even if she comes from a conservative family. Marriage should not be a decision based on duty or social expectations, but rather on love and readiness. What will happen next with Johanna? It won't be easy in the future. Johanna might encounter rejection, censure, or reintegration efforts. She does, however, have opportunities for employment and education. She might take up professional or intellectual pursuits that her married sisters had put off. Individual growth. She has the chance to find herself outside of the Duggar character while she is still single. Being a role model, Johanna might encourage other young women who face similar social pressures to advocate for themselves. Despite Johanna's eventual change of heart, the narrative has. Her recent refusal has already changed me. An act of bravery that affects more than just the Duggar family. There is more to Johanna Duggar's refusal to wed young than the other Duggar girls than just family strife. This is a national moment. It draws attention to the conflict between being free and abiding by the rules, as well as between trying something new and doing things the old-fashioned way. For many years, the Duggar girls have stood for strict compliance with rules. Now Johanna symbolizes something else. The freedom to choose, the bravery to speak up, and the conviction that customs shouldn't be the only rules governing one's life. The globe continues to watch Johannah's story unfold. But her refusal surely changed the life of the Duggar family forever, and showed us that even in the most traditional homes, people still want independence.